Oh, just walked into a massive rain cloud, so quickly put on the rain gear, and the wind's starting up. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, all the bushes that were stood still only a moment ago are now whistling away in the wind. You can probably hear the rain now.
She's been around the world, from Central America to India to the Middle East. Vanessa Ball is an avid traveler, and she's the founder of wandersmiles.com. She joins us today all the way from Dubai. We'll get to know her, and she'll tell us a little bit about what it takes to reach the summit of Africa's highest peak, Mount Kilimanjaro. This is where adventure meets purpose, where we get to know those who live life beyond status quo. My name is Adam Asher, and this is the Edge of Adventure podcast. Okay, Vanessa is calling. Let's connect.
Hello?
Hello, Vanessa. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me on that end?
Amazing.
How about that?
Amazing.
That is. So, yeah, let's start there. Why are you in the UAE? What brought you there?
What brought me here? Sunshine, basically, and travel. So, yeah, I kind of had enough of the grey UK. Yeah, I wanted to come somewhere with a bit of sunshine, and I'd been to Dubai before, had friends here, so I thought, why not? Give it a go. So I came out to look for a job for a couple of weeks, and then when I went back to the UK, I got a Skype interview, and then, yeah, I was back out living here within a few weeks. So, yeah, it was all happened very quickly, really.
Well, that's awesome. What part of the UK did you grow up in?
I grew up in the north and then went to Scotland to uni and then spent about 15 years in London.
But somewhere along the line, you got this travel bug. When did that happen?
Oh, I think I've always had that travel bug. Yeah, it started off really when I was at uni. We went backpacking in Turkey and yeah, kind of more and more along the line. I mean, I think living in the UK, you've got to make it a kind of big trip. You know, there's got to be 3 weeks planned or, you know, whenever you can get off work. Living in the UAE, everything's so much more accessible. I've been allowed to step up my game a little bit.
As the founder of wandersmiles.com, you have been able to share with all of us around the world a little bit about your journeys, and you've taken so many. You've been to so many beautiful, wonderful places, and anybody that goes to your website and reads your blog and looks at the pictures will immediately get a feeling for how much you love to travel and just the passion that you have for it. What are some of the favorite places that you've been to?
Oh, gosh, they've all been so different. I think my recent trip to Djibouti was definitely off the beaten track, and I think quite undiscovered by a lot of people. In fact, a lot of people don't even know where Djibouti is, or, you know, and I think just trekking through the volcanoes and seeing the salt plains and the crazy chimneys by Lake Haba, it was just mind-blowing, absolutely amazing. And I think, you know, I saw the pyramids in Cairo one weekend. The next weekend I was in Sudan seeing the pyramids of Meroe. And again, like, people don't even know these pyramids exist. But to wake up into the sunrise and see these pyramids and there's nobody else there, which is quite a stark difference to being in the pyramids in Cairo,
yes,
where it's, such a tourist attraction.
When did you launch wandersmiles.com?
Well, it's only been going since I created my website in June last year. So it's quite a new thing. So there's quite a lot that isn't on there of my travels. I mean, basically, I got made redundant from my job, and I thought, okay, I've wanted to do this travel blog for such a long time, so it's time to put my money where my mouth is. Had a little bit more time on my hands. So yeah, I created my website, and yeah, it's kind of grown from there. And I've been shocked at the response, and you know how much it has grown. You know, and it's really nice. I mean, I got another travel blogger say to me yesterday they want me to do a guest post, that I'm one of their inspirations. I mean, to me, that sounds strange.
Right. I can believe it though, Vanessa, because as I look and check out your website, look at the posts that you've created, the places that you've been, and the obvious passion and love that you have for travel. To say that the blog at this point in time, as we record this, the blog was only a year old. It's obviously grown very, very quickly, and you do a great job. But it must also be of interest to people out there. What is it about travel that interests people? What's the big deal?
I think it's the curiosity about different cultures, meeting people, seeing things out of the norm, basically. I mean, I come alive when I know I've got a trip planned, or, I kind of live for my next travel. I can cope with working in between, but, that's when I get excited. And is it the not knowing what you're going to find at the other end?
You meet people from all over the world. What is that like? What have you found? How different are they really from you or me?
Well, not different. They've come from a whole different life. It's really strange because they're as curious about you as you are about them. I mean, when I was in Djibouti, we were sleeping under the stars by a wadi, and we woke up and there was children coming, and they were just mouths open looking at us, probably thinking, what are they doing? What are they doing? They're kind of doing what we do. We sleep out here. So we don't. But you could see they were just curious about probably the white people, and and same the other way. I'm totally interested in their history and how they live their life, how they create their huts, how they create their living, especially living in some barren places like that. You do kind of wonder how they sustain life, really. But every walk of life has got something to it, and every walk of life is interesting. And if you peel away the layers, then they're just like us. It's just we've had a different upbringing, a different passport, if you have one.
So obviously we're going to talk in just a few minutes. We'll talk about your trip to Mount Kilimanjaro. That's one of your recent trips, and anybody that's had the opportunity to go to your blog and see the posts and see the pictures will definitely get a taste of what that would be like. And probably when you do that, you're going to be a little bit jealous of Vanessa because it looks absolutely like a fantastic trip. But we'll talk about Kilimanjaro a little bit more in a second. So not counting that adventure, what's another adventure that sticks out in your memory as one that was difficult?
Not difficult. I mean, I think my first altitude trek was, it was only over 4,000 meters, but it was Kashmir. Now that, again, like everyone's like, oh, is it safe? Should we be going there? But yes, when you arrive, there's all the tanks from the Indian occupation, but in no shape or form did I feel unsafe. And then we went out into the Tosa Maidan region, it's fairly undiscovered because it was land leased by the military till 2014. But honestly, the only people that were there were shepherds and us, basically. So we were the third international tourists to actually do this trek in that region. But for me, I think it was my first altitude trek, and it was just so beautiful. And at that point, I knew I just wanted to do more and more mountains. So for me, that was just the start of kind of longer treks, if you will, rather than just kind of day ones. So that was 5 days, and that kind of sticks in my memory.
If you were to go back and say, well, this was really my first international adventure, the first trip I went on where I was really taken outside of my cultural comfort zone, what would that be?
Do you know, I don't ever feel like I've been taken out of my cultural comfort zone. Every one of my trips, I felt like I've adapted well, and I don't feel like I've been out of my comfort zone. I had 5 weeks in Guatemala, which was an awesome trip. But again, I didn't feel out of my comfort zone.
That's actually a great answer. Look, it says something about you. It does say that if you're traveling all over the world and meeting all kinds of people, presented with all sorts of different circumstances, then and you feel at home the entire time, you must have been born for such a thing. And you clearly have a heart for adventure.
I think you just adapt to your surroundings, basically, and the people that you're with. So,
well, and you said it too earlier, the people that you've met, you really don't see them as different. They've had a different upbringing, but they aren't different. That says a lot, when you go and you are free to accept and love the people for who they are. It's really a fantastic, super rewarding experience. And what would you say to somebody maybe who hasn't left their comfort zone? Maybe they have stayed pretty close to home through the years. Would you encourage them to step out and go on one of these trips?
I would absolutely encourage that. I have a lot of people and, even my friends, I've kind of given up trying to encourage people to go on the trips, because if they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. I've spent a lot of time trying to encourage people, but it's just never happened. So if the urge and the passion isn't there in you, then it's not going to happen. But I do really feel like some people that have actually made the journey and started it, you can actually see the difference in these people and the excitement, and they just want to do more and more and more. So it is about making that first step. Now, I do know a lot of people that they'll never make this first step, but I just feel like they're missing out so much. But maybe they're just happy to sit on the sidelines and watch.
Well, we know that as it relates to Vanessa Ball, that is not the case. She's not going to stay on the sidelines. She wants to get in the game and see what's out there. And you certainly have seen a lot. Among those things, the places you've been able to go and trips you've taken is Mount Kilimanjaro. We talked about it a moment ago, and it is certainly something I want to focus on in today's interview as we get to know you. How long did it take you to prepare for that trek?
Oh, so I think I did about 5 weeks training. Obviously, living in Dubai, we have a lot of very tall buildings. I used to stay in the tallest residential building in Dubai, which was 100 floors. So I summited that a few times in preparation.
You mean in the elevator?
No, absolutely not. They're sick doing this training. No, so up and down. We got the whole group together as well. So, I lead trips for an adventure group, which has been which has really helped me with my travels. So this was one of the trips that I was leading as well. So it's all about encouraging the other team members of the group to make sure that they've done the training as well, and everyone's all supportive on the trip. So there was some people on the trip that had never done a trek before. I'm not sure I would have started with Kilimanjaro, but there you go. Yeah, yes, you absolutely have to make sure you're fit. It's all the determination to make it. Unless your body completely gives up with the altitude, then it's mainly what's up here that helps you through.
How long is the entire trip? You took how many days to go to the summit and return?
So it's 3 days. So your first day is going through kind of rainforest, which is beautiful. It just felt like I was back home in England. It was raining. There was ferns and just vegetation that I've seen back home. And then the second day, it was lower kind of moorlands. And then the third day was alpine desert. So to me, those weren't difficult walks at all, difficult treks. But the summit day, that is tough. So that's day 4. So you wake up on day 3 at 11 o'clock and then start walking at midnight. So you're walking until sunrise, but it's a lot steeper, and it's scree. And you're really feeling the altitude there. Some people were getting sick. It was tough. So we got to the top there at Gilliman's Point at sunrise, a little bit later than hoped. And then from there, you've got 2 more kind of boards. So there's Stella Point and Uhuru Peak, which is the actual roof of Africa. That last point, to be honest, was It was hard putting one foot in front of the other. You're just kind of exhausted, but you can see the end in sight. So when you get to the top, it's quite emotional. Well, very emotional, actually. Had a little cry.
Let's do this. You actually recorded a few clips of audio from your journey. I would love to share those. And if you don't mind, let's play one right here, which is you at the summit. And you talked about it being emotional. And this is actually you here talking about that experience in the moment.
Okay, I've just reached the top to the Uhuru Peak. Feeling a bit emotional. I think it's a mix between just sheer exhaustion and euphoria. That's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. But yeah, we need to get down now. We can't stay up here very long, but yeah, this is from the top at Uhuru Point on Mount Kilimanjaro.
So Vanessa, there at that moment, there at the summit, what were you feeling?
I was just speechless, to be honest, and all I could do was cry. I mean, it's making the hair stand up on my arms now. It was just, I can't believe I actually made it. So there was euphoria, there was a complete and utter exhaustion, and just standing at the top, I was like, wow, like, I can't believe I'm here, like, wow, it's just amazing. Yeah, it was definitely worth a little cry. And also, yeah, there was some other girls that I was told weren't going to make it, and then one by one they all started turning up. Yeah, so the whole group made it. So it was just an emotional experience, and you really feel like you bond with the other people that you're having that experience with. Everyone is just, I mean, to be honest, one girl, I think with the altitude, she didn't even know she was at the peak. So once she'd even left the peak, she was wondering when are we gonna make it? Yeah, it's quite emotional experience.
Well, and obviously that it takes a toll, and I'm sure the conditioning helps, but I'm sure for many, just the altitude and the physical exhaustion combined with the altitude has to be quite an impact on the body. And yeah, well, you can hear in that clip, and I thought that was I'm really glad you took the time to record that, because it says so much. And those of us listening to it, we get to imagine what that must have been like, and to hear it in your voice is really special. Yeah. There was also another one of my favorite clips out of the ones that you shared with me is this one right here.
So we're just going to bed. It's about 10. We've got a big day tomorrow, about 6 hours trekking. But can you hear the sound of these monkeys in the trees? Pretty noisy, huh? Anyway, off to bed. Catch you in the morning.
Okay, so where were you? And where were the monkeys?
I couldn't actually see them. So it was dark, it was at night, and I was just on my way to bed, and you could just hear them. They were so loud in the trees. But yeah, couldn't see them. So you don't know how close they were, but you could feel them going in and out as if they were getting closer and then winging through the trees further away. But yeah, it was just such a nice noise, actually, to go to sleep to.
And that was actually at what point in the journey? That was early on, I believe.
Yeah, that was the end of day one. Obviously, because that's the rainforest area. Yeah, when you get past there, you don't really see much wildlife, to be honest. It's a lot of flora and fauna, and trees that are indigenous to Kilimanjaro. So it's great to see. You know, there's senecio trees, big giant groundsels, giant lobelias that you will only find on Kilimanjaro. And so it's lovely to see.
Well, I'm sure it was a fantastic, absolutely beautiful experience. And there was a point, I believe, toward the end of the trip where you were talking with another gentleman, and you were asking him how quickly, I think, you were saying, how quickly did we make this trip? We can play that clip here.
So, Freddie, how fast did we go up the mountain?
Pole.
No haraka.
No haraka. No fast. Slow. Pole. Yeah.
Yeah, so Freddie, he was one of our guides. If you've done Kilimanjaro, you will know the phrase pole pole. It means slowly, slowly in Swahili. So, and this is a standard phrase. If you've done Kilimanjaro, this is how they will be recommending that you walk.
Pole pole?
Pole pole. I've probably not got the accent quite right, but there you go.
It's their advice, right? They're trying to tell you not to rush.
Absolutely. So everyone that's done Kilimanjaro, it's a standard phrase. So everyone will know this Swahili phrase. So, I mean, it's all about, Kilimanjaro is not a race. It's about the altitude. And to be honest, when you get to the huts or your tents, it's better that you're kind of moving anyway. So, and taking it slowly, pole pole, is about acclimatizing to the altitude. Yes, I must admit, on the last day, I did try and speed up because I wanted to get to the end. I was done and start celebrating, to be honest. And that's when the haraka haraka came in, which is fast.
Okay, so that's haraka haraka is fast.
Yes.
Well, you did it, and I know that it's one of those experiences you will never forget, and it sounds like it's something that you would also recommend fellow adventurers undertake.
Yes, absolutely. I've got some of my friends who are now taking the challenge. It was on their bucket list and has been for quite some time, but I feel quite pleased that they're now actually realizing their dreams.
Vanessa Ball of wandersmiles.com. Vanessa, for those who listen to this, what can we do to participate and help you out on your adventures?
Yes. I'd love to take part in more journeys, more off the beaten track journeys. So obviously, if there are any journeys available that are being done that I could take part in, that would be awesome. But yeah, I think just keep supporting what I'm doing. To be honest, I know a lot of people that are doing the same as me. They're just not writing about it. So, but I just wanted to write a blog and let people know what is out there, and the excitement and the passion and how you can realize your dreams by actually getting out of your comfort zone and doing this. So it's not necessarily how people can support me, but how, I can support other people. If they want me to inspire and encourage them, I'm here to do that.
Well, you do a fantastic job. And again, kudos to you, not just considering all the trips you've taken and all the wonderful places and wonderful people that you've met, places you've been, but also thanks for sharing it. So, we live in a very interesting, fun, wonderful time where the kinds of adventures that you take, they are shareable, and you're able to share those with other people. And don't forget, Vanessa, that there's really value in that, because people are learning from you and you are inspiring them. I know you said that feels a little weird when people tell you that. It seems odd because you're just doing what you love, but you are inspiring people, and there definitely is more to life. The world is a very big place, and any opportunity that we have to get out and see it and meet new people and see new places, I certainly encourage people to do that, and I know you do the same. So again, kudos and congratulations on really having Wander's Miles off to a great start in the first year. I can only imagine where it goes from here.
I'm excited about year 2 and to see where it takes me. But yeah, it's been an awesome first year. Yeah, the response has been amazing. I've been really chuffed.
If you'd like to get in touch with Vanessa Ball, please do so. You can find out about her, all about her travels, and how to get in touch with her at wandersmiles.com. wandersmiles.com. She, of course, has been my guest today for the Edge of Adventure podcast, and it is great to know you, Vanessa. It's great to now consider you a friend, and this will not be the last time we talk.
Yay! Thank you so much, Adam. It's been awesome. And thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you. We'll be in touch.
Brilliant. Thank you.
My name is Adam Asher, and you've been listening to the Edge of Adventure podcast. To learn more, log on to theedgeofadventure.com. And while you're there, check out the video series where we go off the grid to discover some of the great things people are doing all around the globe to make the world a better place. I call it my search for adventure and purpose. You'll find us on social media too. Just look for #TheEdgeOfAdventure. Thanks for joining us. Always great to have you with us as together we aim to live for something bigger than ourselves. This is The Edge of Adventure, where we go beyond status quo.